Have we found the winner of the World Cup? Maybe, but we're going to look at Group C and the betting. Who comes out on top, the fight for second, and who gets the wooden spoon? And this one again is competitive. All of these groups, it's just trouble, isn't it? For a punter's perspective, more trouble. Who comes out on top? And where is the fight for second place? Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. I'm not going to be biased in this video. I'm not biased with anything. If there's value to be had against the Scots, we'll play. All right? But looking at the betting market right now, no surprise. Brazil, they're ranked 6th in the world, and I think that's reasonable. I think they deserve that. They could maybe be a little bit lower in the rankings. They're 1-6 to win the group. They're a bigger price on the exchange right now. They're 1.33, so they're just a little bit bigger than 1-3. But I think there's a lot of expectation, as always, aboard the Brazilians right now. And I mean, Ancelotti, the Italian, is in charge of Brazil. Now that one's unique in itself, but it's not a negative. Put it that way. Having an Italian like Ancelotti, the Don, this guy's done everything. Remember the AC Milan teams he had, even when he was at Chelsea. This guy is the GOAT. Real Madrid as well. And I think he's got some really good players here. I mean, he's got Rafinha of Barcelona. We've got Cunha, fantastic season at Manchester United. And how can we forget the Marmite Vinicius Jr.? I mean, he bagged 22 goals for Real Madrid in all competitions last season, and even got Neymar on the bench as well to come on. I think they've got a good squad. Casemiro having a fantastic season as well at Manchester United. Igor Thiago, Danilo Santos. I think Brazil look pretty strong at 1-6. Moving on to the next team we're going to look at is Morocco. They're ranked 8th in the world, and for me that looks a bit skinny. Should there be 2 places near to Brazil? I'm not sure about that. They're 11-2 to win the group. Brazil are 1-6, and their key player is obviously Brahim Diaz. I mean, he is some player, and he's a youth product of Manchester City, and he's now at Real Madrid, a first-team player who's on loan at AC Milan. But again, he's a quite season. 26-year-old. He's not scored that many goals last season. And I think the only thing that sort of comes into their style and what's going to help Morocco is that their style of play. I think it suits tournament football. It's quick, it's physical, counter-attacking. And they're quite comfortable without the ball. I mean, they'll win 1-0, 2-0. I mean, that's their type of game. I think it's a bit of a long shot for them to win the group, though. I think Brazil will win quite comfortably. But again, the race is on for second. And we get on to the next team. Scotland, 10-1 to win the group. Probably adds an extra 0 onto that as well. 100-1 to win the group. They're ranked 43 in the world. And listen, we haven't had a World Cup since France 98. That's a long time ago. That's nearly 30 years.
A few moments later.
You know what's funny? I actually remember watching it when it happened, when John Collins scored that penalty in the Taffarel. I was a fresh-faced young man. No, man, I was a fucking kid. No grey hairs, nothing. No grey hairs, nothing. Big Gordon Jury, boom. Anyway, I think Scotland are in good shape here. I think Steve Clarke's got them in the right place. The only thing I'd worry about is the goalkeeping position. A lot of these goalkeepers haven't played a lot of football. Craig Gordon's like an old age pensioner now. Still a good goalie, but he's not the force of old in my opinion. That's where we could get found out. I think in the middle of the park we're solid. John McGinn, Scott McTominay, solid. I think Lennon Miller was very unlucky, the Udinese boy, not to get in the squad. We're very, very strong in the middle of the park, and I think realistically, we're competing for second place here to get out the group. Brazil to win it, and it's going to come down to the Morocco and the Scotland game. I expect both teams to beat. The last team we're going to go into is Haiti, but massive experience for Tartan Army and for Scotland fans to go out there. But I think the best that Scotland could do here is second. Worst case scenario, third. All right, and yeah. And I think they'll struggle to win the group, obviously. Then we go to Haiti, 83 ranked in the world by FIFA. They're 100-1. Should be $1 million to win the group. And there's not a lot to go into here. I mean, they've got one decent player, Franzi Perot. I mean, he's not a world beater in any way. They've not really got much, to be honest with you. I mean, he plays for AEK Athens. There's not a lot. There's not a lot in Haiti, and you expect all the teams to beat them. And again, it boils down to second and third place between Scotland and Morocco. Okay, so this is how I'd rank it, right? Brazil on top, Haiti on bottom. And then who's going to qualify, who's going to finish second, and who's going to finish third, all right? Right now, I think that Scotland will finish second. And I'm not being biased here. I just think they've got the legs in the middle of the park, and I think they'll be able to beat Morocco. Yeah, maybe by 1 or 2, 2-1, 1-0, that sort of scoreline. We've got the energy in the middle of the park. I can see Scotland getting through, Scotland qualifying. That's the way I see this going. Morocco are a good side, but I think there'll be small margins in this game. So, Scotland to do the miraculous and get out of the group. I can see it happening. Can't see them winning the group. Brazil will win the group comfortably. But it's about positioning yourself and who we think is going to do it. You know, Scotland are the sort of team as well that they would end up getting a point against Brazil and they would get beat off Haiti, something like that. I mean, that's just the way that Scotland are. It's pretty mad, isn't it? The way that Scotland are at times. But we're going to go for the Scots. Brazil, Scotland, Morocco, and Haiti. And I'm just looking at the market right now to see where the value is in this market. And, you know, Brazil, you can get a bit of 1 to 3 if you really wanted to load up on them just to win the group. But looking at the other markets, I think we look at what price is Scotland, best price available. Scotland are 3 to 10 to get out of the group. So the way you're looking from a betting perspective, do you back Brazil to win the group at 1 to 3, or do you back Scotland to finish first or second at 1 to 3? I think Morocco are very short at 1 to 16 to qualify. That's very short. I would have Scotland and Morocco much more closer. I'd probably have them a lot more closer. I think that's a fuck up there. But that's just my view on it, right? Group C is covered. Brazil, Scotland, Morocco, Haiti. And now we're on to Group D. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. What's your order? Do you think I've got it all wrong? Where's the value? Let me know in the comment section. Like, follow, subscribe. See you soon.